Let's take a look at the Friday night football action. 11-5 preseason for Joe Duffy's picks, including Jacksonville over Chicago, is the Thursday night game of the year. Thursday night pending as we file this report. But 11-5 in the preseason. The Friday night game of the year is among two Wise Guy plays and two majors from Joe Duffy's picks. Remember, Wise Guy plays from Joe Duffy's picks, widely accepted the single strongest play in the handicapping business and the greatest handicapper of all time at offshoreinsiders.com. Now let's take a look at the Friday games, previewing from a betting standpoint. You've got the Jaguars at the Lions. The Lions are -3 with a total 44.5. Rookie quarterback Blake Bortles is expected to play about a quarter with the starters on Friday. He'll enter the game after Chad Henne. Bortles passed for 277 yards in the Jaguars' first two preseason games, but this will be his first work going against a first-team defense. Lions are healthy, and they're preparing to, in their words, unleash receiver Calvin Johnson on Friday for the first time this preseason. He also, they expect to have defensive end Ezekiel Anza back. He had 8 sacks last year. He appears to be getting better as he's recovering from an injury. Detroit, deeper at wide receiver than in recent years. Calvin Johnson and Golden Tate, of course, the top two, but they've got Kevin Ogletree, Chris Durham, Ryan Broyles, Corey Fuller. Big competition at the wide receiver spot right now. Panthers and the Patriots. New England -5.5, total 45. 8-year veteran and two-time Pro Bowl safety Roman Harper is doubtful, with the top three spots set in D'Angelo Williams, Jonathan Stewart, and Mike Tolbert. Carolina is very strong in running the ball. There might be some competition after that. Panthers want to see less scrambling from Cam Newton, who's expected to play at least the first half. He, of course, the Panthers quarterback. Ron Rivera, their head coach, said against the Chiefs, he treated that like the third preseason game when the coaches normally play their starters for 3 quarters. His reasoning is he only had a short week this week, so there is some possibility that he won't play his starters quite as long as some do. Bill Belichick, New England coach, always in the regular season form, kind of secretive about his plans, but most coaches agree, most players are seeming to indicate they are going to play the normal first half and then into the third quarter. In fact, Tom Brady has said as much. The Giants and the Jets, this game is a pick'em at 42.5. With the total, the Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham, their top pick, is doubtful to questionable. Giants offense has been awful. Tom Coughlin even threatening to play his offense in the final preseason game if they do not show improvement. Normally starters rest, of course, in the final preseason. When the Giants simulated the Jets' defense in practice, the Giants' offensive line of Will Beatty and Justin Pugh, especially their offensive linemen, they struggled. Giants cornerback Demetri Peterson, who had 4 interceptions last year, is doubtful to questionable. Tight end Jeff Cumberland with 26 catches, 4 touchdowns last season is questionable. Jets' secondary is considered to be a weakness. Battle wide receiver is heating up. Veterans David Nelson and Greg Salvis has stepped up nicely. Jacoby Ford and Clyde Gates, all for the Jets. Geno Smith starts a quarterback. He's slated to play 2+ quarters, followed by Michael Vick. Sometimes, depending on who you listen to, the position could be open. Other times it's not, but Michael Vick has only played 1 series with the starter, so Geno Smith, it is his job to lose. Raiders and the Packers. Packers -7, 43.5. Continuity on the offensive line was a struggle for the Raiders in previous seasons. So far, the Raiders have worked with the same offensive line that helped build them a chemistry that was missing in previous years. They're the centerpiece of the team, in fact. Now, veteran quarterback Matt Schaub trying to rebuild his career after going downhill in Houston. He is the starting quarterback for Oakland. Raiders coach Dennis Allen said there's been strong competition at receiver this camp, and the unit could be deep. Rookie quarterback Derek Carr is probable after concussion. If he does play, he will follow Matt Schaub. Much of the talk has been about the new wrinkles defense coordinator Dom Capers may throw at Seattle. They haven't been showing much this season, the Packers defense that is, and word is that they will continue to keep things under wraps. They're not going to show anything in the preseason. Speaking of Seattle, it's the Bears at the Seahawks. Seahawks -7 and 45. Seattle much deeper wide receivers, but the defensive backs though could be the most affected from the enforcing the rules of Seattle's defensive backs, that is. It's what a lot of scouts think. Bunch of claims that Jay Cutler has finally matured for the Bears. Bears continue to ponder whether to play recent signing Santonio Holmes. He's still learning the offense. Most beliefs are that he won't play that long. With second-year receiver Marquez Wilson out of training camp due to a fractured clavicle, Bears are hoping to find a suitable slot receiver to complement Brandon Marshall and Alshon Jeffrey. No question they are very top-heavy at wide receiver. Chicago, they're trying to build some depth. Looks like Josh Morgan will get the first opportunity to win that number 3 spot. And then, depending if Holmes is brought in, he will get plenty of opportunities as well. Remember, for the free winning picks, offshoreinsiders.com. Winning picks all football season long. www.offshoreinsiders.com.